Low on time, but looking for a way to very quickly knock out your Ian's Ballads on a bunch of accounts, your main, your farm, your other farm, and so on? Using this technique, you can knock out Ian's Ballads on the hardest difficulty in less than 12 minutes. Stick around for a full breakdown of this very simple technique that can get you cruising through Ian's Ballads faster than ever. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming. Today we're going to be showcasing a very simple technique to get you through Ian's Ballads really quickly, a way to handle the last boss so that you can heal after all of the waves, and we'll talk about some other things that are going on in Rise of Kingdoms right now. If you like Rise of Kingdoms guides that help you get value and smash your enemies, consider smashing that subscribe button for daily Rise of Kingdoms videos. We're a sponsored content creator, and I can't believe I didn't know this very simple technique to speed your way through Ian's Ballads. The technique you're watching unfold on the screen right now, you have one player very quickly make it to a forward reset point, and they pull with them literally all of the mobs, all of the bad guys that are between your starting point and this resurrection spot, which we have up on the screen now. When they tap that resurrection point, they then make it so that the whole party will resurrect there. So we have the whole party now wipe fighting this huge group that we could never handle. And after that has happened, we're going to be able to all respawn right next to the boss and skip all of those packs entirely. This will make it so that you go very, very quickly through your Ian's Ballads. And apparently this is a technique that one of the Alliance members in the Smash Squad, Cortex, he's one of the officers as well, saw in a pickup group and said, hey, Chisgule, have you thought about doing this? You can see I've got a really slow march on my mini, probably should have used a faster one. After I am wiped out here, all of the little marches are going to reset. They're going to walk all the way back to their starting point, and then we're going to be able to pop out from this checkpoint and deal with this boss. So you're going to see that happen in just a second. Folks are starting to pop out now, and I'm going to bring my march with my preset army, and boom, you can see all those little marches are retreating. We wait for them to get out of range, and then we tackle the boss, easy peasy, and we'll go on to the next area. So we're going to do something very, very similar in the next area, but I want to talk very briefly about the group composition here. We had one tank, 2 DPS, and 1 healer. Theoretically, you could do this with 1 tank and 3 DPS. I don't think the healer is actually necessary with a sufficiently competent group. However, in this case, you know, we could do this pretty casually as we make our way through here. We've got 2 40 million power players and 2 80 million power or so players that are going through this exercise. In fact, actually, that's Abe's farm, so I take that back. 3 40 million power players and an 80 million power player. Okay, so now we knock this boss out, and we're going to do the exact same thing all over again. But now we're going to run all the way to the far portion next to the second boss. So you'll see Cortex is on his way over now. We're healing up on our way over. Don't forget to get the loot before you go. And we're going to run up just south and to the left of where the next boss sits. We're going to skip the, I guess, mini bosses that give you runes, that give you slight buffs. Not even messing with that. We're going all the way up top, skipping all these packs, aggroing everything along the way, using this exact same technique that we were just showing you. Now, while we're marching over, I do want to give a quick public service announcement that at the time of this video, there was a More Than Gems event that just hit. And what's amazing about that is at the time that I'm recording this, it's Saturday going into Sunday, which means we're about to have a reset of the VIP shop. What a perfect time if you have been waiting patiently to purchase things at the VIP shop to get those things that you really wanted from the VIP shop. I always wait until the Saturday into Sunday time frame to go and spend my gems in the VIP shop in case there's a More Than Gems event. And if you haven't seen More Than Gems before, this is an event where you spend gems and get a bunch of extra goodies for having done so. You get extra legendary commander sculptures at the 7,000 and 25,000 gem spot, and you can do that 2 days in a row. So I'm going to be able to do that now on Sunday, leading into the VIP shop reset, and then I get to do it all over again after VIP shop reset, which is pretty freaking sweet. So here we're going to wipe it up. There's no way we can handle all of the ads that we have and the boss at the same time. After we wipe this up, and by the way, I actually think if you had a full T5 party, you might be able to have someone sort of off tank all the little ads there while the rest of the group takes down the boss. We got closer than I would have thought, but we were nowhere close. All right, so we wipe it up here. You can see that we're going to start at this new respawn point, and we'll get back into the fray and fight the boss. And all of the ads will make their way back. We're going to wait a second for that to happen. Okay, we got to wait a second for all these ads to disappear. But they will. There they go. They start to make their way home. Then we'll tackle this boss on its own. And in just a moment, we'll share with you the next trick, which is how to heal. That's right, you can heal after you do all of the waves for the next boss. We'll show you exactly how to do that. So we're going to take down this boss now. You can see I'm playing the healer. I like to use, I think it's called Blood Drinker. I use it a little early here, I think. Negan is a little far away. Everybody else is already in combat, but it's a short ability. I'm going to pop that in just a second, and that's going to give us a huge amount of damage boost. We'll knock this guy out. We'll go to the next zone. So as a reminder, if you are buying things from the VIP shop for the More Than Gems event, a couple of things that I would strongly recommend if you are not yet T5, Books of the Covenant are a really solid pickup, and you should consider purchasing those Books to the Covenant at the 7,000 gem tier of the More Than Gems event. That way you could potentially do that across 2 different days. This is something that I'm doing on my restart project right now, and that is going to enable me actually to finally get to the point where I can make a level 25 castle. It has taken me forever to get to that point on my restart project, which is a 45 million power account. The account we're on now is about 43 million power, and it's my farm. It's an old farm, though. This is like a 550-day-old farm, which is kind of nuts. So now we're healing up, and we're about to tackle all of these waves. We claim our rewards. Don't forget to do that. And in this next portion, the key is that you fight the waves in the southernmost portion of this zone. So you see we're passing through the forest pass now. That's about where we want to fight all of the ads. So if you haven't done this event before, spoiler alert, we're about to get ambushed. You just let all of those mobs come to you rather than going to them in the center. That way you can have a round to heal before you actually fight the boss. That makes fighting the boss a whole heck of a lot easier, which is something that we're going to knock out in one shot. So you can see here, Cortex ran up, he pulled everything, and now we're fighting it close to the pass. I think you could be a little more south, but honestly, where we are is totally fine for what we're doing here. And it's really only at the end of the last wave that you're going to be concerned about, hey, making sure that you're not going to aggro the boss. Now, you may have noticed that we skipped all of the trash mobs, all the mini fights on the way up to each of the bosses, which means we didn't get any of the loot that you can get from the little chests that drop onto the ground. But good news, these also drop those little chests, and you can grab them here and probably get to your sort of quota of those chests and those rewards, which is pretty solid. And I guess we are missing a teeny amount of loot from fighting all the things along the way. But like, this is way faster, and for us, this worked out really quite well. So here we're on the second wave now. You can see the clock up in the top of the screen, by the way, for exactly how much time we have remaining. We are at 1 hour, 50 minutes remaining and 35 seconds, which, by the way, means we've only been here for 9 minutes and 30 seconds. We're already approaching the final boss, which is a pretty good situation. Now, at the tail end of this video, I'm going to open up the loot. And what's interesting about this is that the loot is like fine. It's good. But you get some small number of epic or legendary chests, and you get mostly blue and green gear. The real loot from this event, in my opinion, is just getting all the material crates that come from this, and also you get a lot, 12 equipment chest keys, which is really solid. So you can see I also was spamming the button to try to heal up between fights. If you're really hasty, you can actually get a tick of healing off between these waves. I'm actually getting pretty low and kind of need it. You can see here we picked up one of those chests I was talking about, that those drop here, that you only can get like 3 or 4 of them anyways in total. And you'll get plenty of them from these mobs when you fight them. So now we've been in the zone for 10.5 minutes. We're going to clear this out. I'm using an Ethelflaed Esong. It's what I have. Ethelflaed on my farm is my highest level commander, weirdly enough. Other folks are using Mina Double C, which I think is also a fine choice. Our tank is using a Guan Alex combination, which I think is very solid. So we're about to clean up the trash pulls here and be able to tackle the boss, which, by the way, as soon as this is done, we should be able to leave combat and heal all the way up, which is good news because I'm super low. So here you can see, bada boom, we start healing. There's the boss hanging out up top. Mission freaking accomplished. All right, so now we can heal back up to full. I mean, we definitely would have wiped if we had to take this fight with me almost dead already and everybody else in a pretty bad state. This is the situation you want to be in. So now we go in and we'll take this boss. And the thing that's important to remember about this particular fight is it's a little bit of a damage race. He's doing a massive amount of area of effect damage to you. He also has a healing totem, which is kind of a big deal. You need to make sure you knock out that healing totem. I think we're going to almost manage to DPS our way through it. And look at how fast my health is dropping. I mean, I am dropping super fast. I'm going to use a heal on myself here, which is, man, it's going to help, but not a ton. And you can see now, we notice the totem. 2 of us are going to go for it. Because we are relatively low power accounts, I mean, we're like 240 million power accounts on hell difficulty, it actually takes more hits than I would have expected to knock that thing out. However, we're going to take down this boss pretty freaking quickly in the grand scheme of things, collect our loot, and in just a moment, I'm going to open that up for you. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know down below in the comments if there are any other tips and tricks that you have for the Takra Forest in the Ian's Ballads. I still enjoy this game mode. I think it's pretty cool. But I am looking forward to when they come out with some new maps so we can see some new rewards and some new loot. Consider checking out some of my other Ian's Ballads guides. If you enjoyed this one, card up in the top for that. Throw a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.